Hey there everyone, welcome back to another day on the channel. Sorry for no uploads yesterday, but kind of like last Monday, life got in the way. So yeah, very busy last weekend with Mother's Day stuff, and I just really didn't get around to it. So without further ado, let me get into my round 6 match of Swiss from the Maryland Midseason Showdown, what was now 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So I'm playing Dan Levison, who's a really good player. He does a lot of the stream commentating for the PCs and mid-season showdowns up in the New York, New Jersey area. And looking at his team, I was a little bit worried, to be honest. And because I looking at it, I saw double primals, which I know is strong, and I saw he had a Mawile, so I knew that could be kind of scary in Trick Room, which is one of the reasons why I really wanted to bring Grout on. But for me to set up Trick Room against him, I didn't think was a good idea, because then, you know, we risk speed ties, and he does have like the Mawile pressure against like my Kangaskhan and my Thundurus and my Landorus. So basically, I didn't think Bronzong was the right call here. I thought he's gonna have to bring Cresselia to set up his Trick Room, and it looks like he has Trick Room Gravity, same kind of setup I have. So I definitely want to bring my Thundurus for speed control, because I'm going to try and outspeed things by paralysis, basically. And if he wants to set up Trick Room, I can try and take advantage of it with my Groudon, which I know is min speed. I don't know what his is, but I just decided, you know what? I'm 5-0. This is the last round of Swiss, so I'm guaranteed to top cut. So I'm not too worried about it. At this point, I figure even if I lose, I want to get as much information as possible in case I play Dan in the finals, or sorry, not in the finals, in top cut. So I just decide to go with double Genie lead and Groudon and Kangaskhan in the back, and I thought that was pretty decent. I thought that was a pretty decent lead, if I don't say so myself. Yeah, so here we go. It's happening. Here we go. Alright, so yeah, I send out my Landorus Thundurus, and then he sends out Kyogre Mawile. Okay, so actually, I'll let this I will let this animation go out with the primal reversion. But let me qualify this entire thing by saying I don't entirely remember what I did in this battle. I remember certain parts of it, I don't remember all of it. So I'm probably gonna say things like, oh, I think I did this, and then it'll be the exact opposite. But here, okay, so what do I think I did here? I imagine that I probably just doubled into the Kyogre. Yeah, because here, like you know, paralyzing the Mawile, basically paralyzing one of his Mons is kind of obvious. And I thought, you know what, if he wants to switch out the Mawile to try and get in like Cresselia or something, then, you know, even a -1 Banded Earthquake into a Kyogre and a Thunderbolt will Life Orb Thunderbolt would probably take it out. And I just really wanted that damage. I was trying to play very aggressive right away. Is that right? Yeah. So he does switch out the Mawile into the Cresselia, which I guess would have been nice to paralyze it, but he goes ahead and he gets off that Protect. Now, actually, so basically nothing happens here because he protected and his Cresselia floats would levitate. Now, I guess a better play would have been to U-turn into maybe the Mawile or one of the Mons, because having my Groudon in here would be great, and having Landorus in the back would be great, but I didn't do that. So, yeah, here he threatens me with Ice Beam, and he could just easily switch out his Kyogre into like Groudon, and I think I was worried about that. I probably did something about that. Yeah, so I switch out into my Groudon, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. So in case he wants to set up Trick Room, you know, it stops any Water Spout shenanigans. Not that I think he'll go for it. I think he'll probably just want to Ice Beam into the Landorus slot or Ice Beam into Thundurus. But it stops a possible Water Spout, and if he wants to set up Trick Room, then I know I'm min speed, and I'll enjoy being in Trick Room. Or no, do I go for a Thunder Wave? Yeah. Yeah. Thunder Wave that Cresselia. Try and stop it from doing what it wants to do. Because I was really worried about... I don't know why. I was convinced that this Cresselia was Mental Herb, so that's why I didn't want to taunt it. But he actually just straight up takes out my Thundurus with an Ice Beam. And I remember being surprised by that. And launches an Ice Beam into, just into Groudon, so into Landorus slot. So I guess predicting a switch in, sorry, he was predicting a switch in on the Thundurus side. But, yeah, didn't go for that. So my Thundurus is gone, which sucks. And at this point, I'm pretty sure, in my mind, the priority here is get rid of his Cresselia. Because if I can get rid of his Cresselia, I can pretty much handle everything else with Landorus in the back. Late game Landorus against this team looks pretty good if I can get rid of Cresselia, because I can literally just Earthquake everything. Unfortunately, it does give him the opportunity to reset his weather. So he'll be able to switch in. He probably doesn't want to switch in his Mawile. I mean, he could switch it in, but then, you know, he runs the risk of me possibly Precipice Blading, but he would get the Intimidate. But if I'm not mistaken here, I believe I Fire Punch and Double Edge into the Cresselia. So I figured he would switch out the Kyogre, but there's not a whole lot of reason to not let that happen. So yeah, he's trying to set up Trick Room and have Groudon in on the next turn. So that's what he's switching in to do, which is a really good play for me if he sets it up, because I have slow Groudon, but he probably has slow Groudon as well. So we'd be running into some speed ties. So I'd rather have the Trick Room not set up and run into speed ties with our Groudons, because then the rest of my team is still faster. So I get the Double Edge off into the Cresselia, and I know that Double Edge Fire Punch should take it out, except he has Citrus Berry, not Mental Herb. So I don't know why, but for whatever reason, when I saw like the paralysis go off and I didn't see a Lumberry, I just assumed it was Mental Herb. I didn't even consider Citrus Berry. So you see, it survives with just enough there. So if not for that Citrus Berry, no Trick Room, I get a free knockout, and then I'm in a pretty decent position after that. So now I think here he just all he has to do is skill swap and then attack stuff. Yeah, basically like skill swap Fire Punch with his Groudon, skill swap whatever, really. He could Gravity Precipice Blades, but I think he's probably fearing a speed tie. So yeah, I would be afraid of a speed tie, and I would definitely want to skill swap my Groudon to prevent it from being hit with anything, really. See, there goes the skill swap, and yeah, that's annoying. We get the Precipice Blades off. It is a -1, so basically here, I want to hit something with my Precipice Blades. So he did win that speed tie, which is unfortunate. But I do get to take out the Cresselia, except now he gets to bring in his, I think he brings in what, Mawile here? Oh no, he brings in Kyogre. Yeah, that's right, because now he's free to Origin Pulse or Water Spout and Precipice Blades. And basically my Landorus is, I'm just in a bad position because my Landorus is going down. I basically have to sacrifice like 2 Mons just to even reset weather. So I don't even really have a chance at this point. So him getting that Trick Room up was very, very bad. It was very bad. And really the only reason he got it up was because of Citrus Berry. So, oh yeah, I forgot, Kangaskhan avoids the Origin Pulse. I still think in hindsight I played it okay. I think letting Thundurus go down that easy, probably not a good idea. I mean, again, I played very risky that first turn. That was a very aggressive play, but, you know, if I'd been able to knock out his Kyogre turn 1, then that would have been really great for me. Because then it's Groudon Weather Wars, and I can win Groudon Weather Wars. Yeah. So that was a bit unfortunate, but, you know, you just see he's at this point he's got Trick Room turns, and he's steamrolling me with his double primals. And I think it was just what, Ice Beam's the Kangaskhan? Oh no, Ice Beam's the Groudon. Yeah, but you do see here, I'm at this point I know I'm losing, but I'm not going to forfeit because I'm just gathering information on his team. Because at this point I know I'm going to lose, which means he's going to top cut because I have the highest. I'm the highest rated. I would be the highest rated person because of the fact that I went 5-1. So I know he's going to be in top cut. So I'm just gathering information at this point. And knowing that he has Citrus Berry on Cresselia is huge. And he knows nothing about my Trick Room mode. He hasn't seen any of the techs on my team. He still doesn't know that I have a bulky Kangaskhan, really. He doesn't know how slow it is, which is good. At this point, he just brings in Mawile, and at that point I forfeit because I know there's nothing left for me to do. And and at this point, you know, they've put up the results, and I see that I've top cut, which is awesome because that means I get more points, yay, and puts me that much closer to qualifying for Worlds. And I just know that we're probably going to see each other in the top cut at some point, so I'm just looking at my notes and thinking, all right, well, that's a Citrus Berry Cresselia. But it was also important to note that my Kangaskhan, that the Double Edge from my Kangaskhan and the Fire Punch from my Groudon, even after Citrus Berry, left it with like, it had to have been like 6%. It was so little. He had so little health left. So I just know that, you know, like that first turn, you turning out with Landorus in the Mawile slot would have been great, because then even if he didn't switch out, I have initiative. I can reset my Intimidate. Him switching in Cresselia there, it would have taken like probably almost half from a Banded U-turn. And then my Double Edge alone, I think, would have picked it up. So that Citrus Berry was clutch, and he played it so well. So yeah, that's it for the Swiss rounds. I'm going to come back to you tomorrow with game 1 of the top 8 match that I have from this tournament. So I hope to see you there. If you like it, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And hopefully I'll see you back for another episode.